Hi everyone, let us learn a few more topics relating to the subject Fundamentals of Management and Life Skills. In this session, let us learn about the meaning, definition, characteristics, determinants, types and sources of personality. So first of all, let us know the meaning of personality. Here, personality, it's been referred to the set of traits and behaviors that characterize an individual. Each and every person is having different kind of personality, because each and every person's behaviors will be totally different and it will be unique. And this personality has both internal and external elements. It has both the elements, the way we think, the way we act, it will be totally different. And the personality of each and every person is influenced by many things. And it is normally stable, relatively stable. That means it won't change often and often. And this personality is both inherited as well as shaped by the environment. Yes, we get certain traits or behaviors by inheritance because of genes transmission. And one more thing is certain behaviors we get it even from the environment. We learn it by means of the environment where we are living. And as I told, each and every person is unique in his behavior. Then let us look at how this concept personality is being defined. Lawrence Irwin has defined personality as it is a relatively stable set of psychological attributes that distinguish one person from another. Here we can say we can observe three things. One thing is it is relatively stable. That means it won't change often. And one more thing is it is related to psychological attributes. And one more thing is it is different from person to person. Then R.T. Hogan has defined personality as it refers to the relatively stable pattern of behaviors and consistent internal states that explain a person's behavior tendencies. So as per R.T. Hogan, he once again relies on the same thing, like it is referring to stable pattern of behaviors. That means he makes it a point it is stable, it won't change often and often. That is a person's behavior. And one more thing is internal states. That means the internal states will also be consistent. It also won't change very often unless the situation demands it. And each and every person's personality, it explains a person's behavior. And the one more definition that is given by Stephen P. Robbins. He defines personality as it is a sum total of ways in which an individual reacts and interacts with others. It is a kind of summing up the meaning of so many meanings related to personality. What he says that it is a total of everything that is relating to a person's behavior. That means regarding how an individual reacts and interacts with others. That means how he moves with others. The total of that is being called as personality. So here we can say that we can observe certain things like it will be normally stable. A person's personality will be normally stable and it is different from person to person, and it is regarding his behavior, the total of behavior in which he moves with the society. Then let us learn the next part of this personality, that is the characteristics of personality. here it is being told like there are two main features of an individual. They are first one like inherited characteristics, the second one being learned characteristics. Inherited characteristics means that is those characteristics which we acquire from our parents or forefathers. Maybe it is like a person's eye, maybe the religion, or maybe the size of the nose, shape of the nose. That means nothing other than the physical characteristics. We normally inherit it from our parents. That is what we call like inherited characteristics. Then what is this learned characteristics? These learned characteristics refers to those things which we learn it by means of observing others, that is from the environment, that is maybe it is from school, maybe from our society, or maybe the working place. Okay, these are referred to learned characteristics. And these learned characteristics include the following features like perception, that is it refers to feeling and hearing, they say, result of so many senses. Then values means it refers to a situation, perception of a situation. That means how we perceive a particular situation, how we understand, how we analyze a particular situation. That is depending upon the values we have in our life. Then the next one is personality. That means the way we think and the way we understand a particular situation, or we behave in a particular situation, is called as personality, and definitely it will be different from person to person. And the fourth and the last one is attitude. Normally this attitude will be basically categorized into two, that is positive and negative attitude. It also depends upon his the values in his life, and it is certainly having its impact on, that is its impact from the environment where he is living. Then the next topic being determinants of personality. Determinants of personality are heredity, environment, family, social, and situational. So a person's personality is determined by these things. So first one is heredity. It has been told the genes that are there in the chromosomes is passed around 20 to 50%. Yes, from one generation to another. That means most of the qualities we acquire it from our parents or forefathers. And it is normally related to physical features, mental features, and emotional states. And this is what we call heredity. And the next one is environment. This environment, that is the surroundings where we are living, it is definitely having its impact on our personality, and that also includes the family, then the society, and our family members, then our relatives and friends, and the experiences we have with them. All these things are coming under environment. Then directly the family itself. Yes, this family is playing a very important and dominant role on the personality that we have. Basically it is the social status of our family, the economic status of our family, maybe even the size of the family. It is having a great impact on our personality. Then social. Yes, social factors. It is also a major factor which influence a person's personality, and it involves the reorganization of individuals in an organization or society, and socialization. It's a very good process, and it is starting from home and extending to work environment in a society. That means how we move with the society, how we move with others, and how good we are in maintaining some good relationships, and what are the features we have regarding cooperation or coordination and even interaction with our own family members, or with or in our at our working places. These are nothing other than the social factors. And the last one is situational. Yes, each and every person's personality is depending upon the situation where he has to act and react. That means to say, the same person's the way he behaves will be maybe different, depending upon the situation in which maybe depending upon the situation where which he has to face, like, and we can't judge like a person's personality depending upon his behavior regarding a particular situation only. We can't assess a person's personality, because each and every kind of situation, it demands a different kind of behavior. So we can say these are the main five factors which determine a person's personality. Then coming to types of personality. Basically, there are 6 types of personality. That is depending upon how they think, what are their beliefs. So depending upon their belief, or maybe their behavior or their thinking, personality is being classified into these 6. First of all, locus of control. These people, they believe that the events are either within one's control or determined by forces beyond one's control. That means there are 2 types of people. Some people believe that whatever the events happen in their life, it is within their control itself. And some people have the belief like whatever the events happen in their life, that control is within themselves, not with others. But some people believe that no, whatever the events happen in their life, it is caused by the outside environment. So who believe that they are responsible for their life events, they are called as internals. But those who believe that their life events are caused because of external elements, they are called as externals. Then authoritarianism. These kind of people, they think that there should be status and power differences among people in organization. That means they never think that everybody is the same and there has to be power differences. That means lower authority, middle level organization, upper level organization, something like that. There should be status and power differences among people in organization. And they naturally prefer stable and structured environment, and they think that there should be some clean rules and procedures, okay, like that. That kind of personality is what we call authoritarianism. Then the third one is bureaucratic personality. And this kind of persons who are having this kind of personality, it is based upon respect for organizational rules and regulations. They think that they value subordination. They have values in subordination. They value rules, okay, and they value very formal relationships. And they do not like taking risks, and feel more at ease in following established directions. That means they have more belief in structured patterns and rules and regulations, and very formal relationships in the organization. That kind of people, we say that they have bureaucratic personality. And the fourth one is being called Machiavellianism. These people are called normally Mac people. And these people with the high Mac, they are very good at manipulation. They are very good at manipulation, and they win more or persuade others more than they do people with the low Mac. But these people, high Mac outcomes are moderated by situational factors. And these what the people who are having this kind of personality, that is what we call like Mac people, they flourish at certain kinds of situations. That means normally when these people interact face to face with others, they will really flourish. They don't want indirect talks. They are very good at direct conversations, and they flourish in such kind of situations. And when the situation is not structured, that means it has a minimum of rules and regulations, that they think that there is more scope for improvisation in their work pattern. So they flourish even at the place where there are less rules and regulations. They are very good at showing improvisation in their work patterns. And the next one is introversion and extroversion. I think yes, you know the terms like introverts and extroverts. It is based upon the same thing. Introversion people are introverts. They are the people who are and what do you call like introversion and extroversion. These things are based upon their sociability. That means how much they are good at socialization. Depending upon that, them either introverts or extroverts. Then what is this introversion? We say that it is a state of our tendency towards being wholly or predominantly concerned with and interested in one's own mental life. That means these are the people who put their energy towards to expand through reflection and dwindle during interaction. That means they are not like that kind of people who socialize so easily. They are the people who like to enjoy to spend time alone. That means to be with them, and they don't want to move with lots of groups of people. Such kind of people are whom we call like introverts. But who are these extroverts people? Extroverts people, they are the people who interact in a very good manner with others, who want to move with others very easily, who are very sociable. Such kind of people are whom do we call extroverts. And the last type of personality is there are two types, like type A personality and type B personality. Who are this type A and type B personality? Actually, these two types of personality, it has been given and contributed by Meyer, Friedman and Ray Rosenman, and they were the cardiologists, and they came out with two types of personalities, like type A and type B personalities. So as per them, type A people are having certain characteristics which are totally opposite of type B personalities. Then let us have a look at the features of type A personality. So these type A personality people, they lose their temper very quickly, they say, and they keep talking rapidly. they interrupt others, but they are very highly competitive at their work, and they have a strong dedication towards their work, and they have a strong sense for time management, and they are impatient with idleness. Like that, they have their own features. But type B persons, who are just opposite to type A personality, they work steadily and they want to be relaxed, and they are very calm in handling issues, they say. And they don't have completing tendencies. That means they'll start some work and maybe they won't complete that job. And but they are very good at analyzation compared to type A persons, and time management is not at all there with them, and they do not easily lose temper. So like that, there are some personal features differences in type A and type B personality. And coming to the last part of this session, sources of personality. There are two sources of personalities. One is nature and the other one is nurture. What is this nature? It refers to the fact that each and every person is born into this world with a certain set of characters. That is what we call, like, the first source of personality is by nature itself. That means we acquire certain behaviors from birth itself. Then what is this nurture? It refers to all the experiences that living in the world creates for us. That means whatever the behaviors we learn from the society, from the environment, this is what we call nurture. That is whatever we, based upon the experience, we get it from family life, our economic status, societal environment. These are what do we call nurture. Then one more thing, we see a minority of people who despite having every advantage in their background, somehow turn into unhappy and unpleasant individuals. This nobody can help it, because some people are there who have everything in their life, and in spite of that they seem to be quite unhappy. But better they understand it, better they understand about their kind of personality, and they change their kind of personality. And there is one more set of people who are not so blessed, but they create wonders. That is what is being told here. There are many inspiring stories of individuals who grew up with many strikes against them and seemingly every justification for becoming bitter and selfish, but who nevertheless choose to live a life of cooperation, selflessness, and optimism. Yes, that means there are two types of people. The first set of people are, they have everything, but in spite of that they are totally unhappy. But the other set of people are there, they are, to be told, not so blessed. They don't have a good story behind them, they are not so happy, they are not having a good economic status, not supporting family. So many things are lacking with them, but in spite of that they flourish, and they seem to be very happy and very pleasant. And in preparing this video, I have referred these books, and in case you want further information about these topics, you can refer these books. Thank you.